All right, so we're going into day 6 of the series. So we've been focusing on water intake, taking in that hot lemon ginger honey, and then yesterday and today, we've been focusing on sort of cutting back maybe about 50% of any dehydrating drinks. And then what we're going to add from tomorrow is cutting back on our sugar intake. So, I mean, I don't actually have a lot of sugar. I don't put sugar in my coffee or in my tea, but I do have a sweet tooth. So there, you know, the sugar for me is hidden in those things like, you know, if I have chocolate or dessert after dinner. So what I'm going to be doing is just sort of minimizing that and starting to scale it back. So there's been so much research, not even just lately, over the last decade, about how addictive sugar can be. And so I think it's one of the things that we want to take a look at anyway. And if you don't have a sweet tooth or you don't eat a lot of sugar, then this is going to be just like easy peasy for you anyway. All right. So what we're going to do today is focus a little bit more on a flow. And what we're going to focus on is transitioning through different levels from standing to kneeling to seated to prone, coming up again. So it's very functional work, which is quite nice. But as soon as you get into the flow, you almost don't even notice that you're working that hard because it's going to be just part of that natural transition anyway. All right, so we're not going to use any props today. When we come back on Sunday, I'll send you guys a reminder that we're going to start including a little bit more fascial release. So I'm going to ask you guys to have the massage ball and the prop ready for Sunday's class, but I'll email you. Today, all you're going to need again is a mat and then maybe a little bit of padding for knees and hips if you need a block or a towel or a cushion. All right. So is everyone ready to rock and roll? Fantastic. Okay, so let's come onto our mats, and I'm just going to get rid of this cushion at the end. I was just using it to help me unroll the cushion. And we're going to start in a standing position at the front of your mats. And I've just got my phone on charge so I can keep an eye on the time for us. So come and stand up towards the front edge of your mats. Take a look down at your feet. Big toes are in line. Feet are slightly separated. Just let your arms hang nice and heavy. And then take a moment to close your eyes. And just let yourself arrive on your mat. Allow your breathing to slow down. Taking full, deep inhales and long, extended exhales. And then just allowing your lips to close softly, coming into a gentle, natural breath. And start to bring your awareness down to the soles of your feet. Noticing all 4 corners of your feet as you stand there. And allowing your feet to be your foundation, start to stack your joints above it to your ankles, knees, hips, pelvis, lifting from the sacrum, lumbar spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine, and allowing your head to just wobble on top. Noticing the movement of your rib cage as you breathe. And at the front of your ribs, finding width across your collarbones, at the back of your ribs, allowing your scapula to settle. Bring awareness to your shoulders, elbows, wrists, and hands. And take a moment as you stand here, just to allow your body to suspend itself in space, standing with as much ease as possible. Softening the areas around your eyes and allowing your eyes to melt backwards into your head. And taking just one more deep breath in, filling your body with oxygen, energy. Open your mouth and sigh. Blink your eyes open gently. And we're going to start with the roll down here. So you're going to take a breath in. And on your breath out, just look down towards your toes. And start to roll halfway down, just until your hands are hanging in front of your knees. And stay there, feeling the shape of your spine, noticing the areas of tension. And then take your hands onto the front of your knees and start to lengthen your spine, reaching your tailbone backwards behind you, reaching forward through the crown of your head, and then tuck your tail and round your spine again. So we're doing a cat stretch movement with our spines. We just happen to be in a standing position. Lengthen your tail. Use your arms to help you, but remember that you want the abdominals to stay supported. And then tuck your tail and round. And let's take two more. And if it feels good for you, you could start to add a little bit of extension of the spine. It might be a little bit too much for you if your back feels a little bit stiff or tight, so just feel it out. One more time, lengthen your tail, reach through your crown, and then round your spine. Hold it here. Just let your arms go. Let them hang. Take another breath in, and then roll back up into standing. Lifting all the way up and tall. Take a moment to roll the shoulders back and around a few times. Finding that width across your chest. Opening up across the heart one more time. And then just allow the arms to settle once again. We're going to do a second roll down. Take a breath in. Exhale, look towards your feet. And finding that gentle rolling of your spine. And we're going to come just a little bit lower this time. Just until your hands are sort of in the middle of your shins. And now take your hands, place them onto your shins. Keep the knees a little bit bent. And let's go into the same extension and rounding of the spine. So doing our standing cat stretch. And this is a wonderful way to mobilize the spine and to start finding the connections between the upper body and the lower body, because essentially that's what your spine is. It acts as a bridge between the top and the bottom sections. Use your arms to help support your back. One more time. Round your spine like a cat. Stay here. Let go. Let everything hang nice and heavy. And then rooting into your feet and let yourself unravel. And as you come up, just feeling the back line of your body connect. And then once again, roll your shoulders back and around. And this time, bring your focus to the back of your body, feeling the squeeze of the shoulder blades together, finding a little bit of a connection to those muscles on the back. One more time. And just allowing the arms to relax. One more roll down. Take a breath in. Exhale, look towards your feet. Feeling that soft articulation of the spine. Soften your knees. And you're going to continue coming all the way down this time. And you're going to put either fingertips or flat hand to the ground, depending on how flexible you are. And stay here for a moment. Notice how you're getting a little bit more of a stretch into the back of the legs now. And then come up onto the tips of your fingers. And we're going to come into our cat stretch from here. Lengthening the spine. And then rounding the spine, tucking tail, lifting belly button, and tucking the chin in. And again, lengthen. And round. And again, 2 more times. If this is too much for you, you could just put your hands back on your shins, by the way. No big deal. Make any adjustments that you need. 1 more time. And round. Now stay there. Bend your knees and see if you can put your hands flat to the ground. Bend your knees a little bit more. And then you're going to start to straighten your legs as much as you can, but you're not allowed to let your hands lift up. So it doesn't matter if the legs straighten completely. The point is, are you able to find a stretch along the back of the legs? And let's take 1 more time. Stretch. Now bend both knees. Bring your body weight to the right foot. And just see if you can pick up the left leg. And we're just going to stay here for a second and balance. Your hands are connected to the floor. Your right foot is rooting. You're probably going to start to feel that your right gluteals wake up. Abdominals are connected. And now just take a step back with that left leg. Reach it back and then place the toes all the way down. Now you're going to lower that left knee to the ground. So if you need a pad underneath that knee, feel free to do so. Relax your foot out and then walk your hands all the way up towards that top knee. And again, we're just going to do that little shifting of body weight that we've been practicing for the last few days. Keeping your eye line focused to help you balance. Keeping the lower abdominals engaged to support the lower back. And we're going to take just 1 more time. Come all the way forward. Now reach down, put your fingertips just on either side of the heel, and now do the same shifting of body weight. And do you notice how it moves the stretch to the hamstring at the back of the leg? As much as possible, try to keep your pelvis level. Keep your shoulders squared to the ground and find length along your spine. Let's take 1 more. Come forward, hold it. Walk your hands forward. You're going to be on your fingertips now. Tuck the back toes under and pick up the back knee. Now, connect your abdominals. You're going to bend the back knee and do a little push. And do that again, little push. 1 more time, little push. And this time, step all the way forward so that your feet are in line, and then just relax over for a moment. Give your head a little shake. No, 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 no. Nod your chin. Yes, 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 yes. And then let your head hang heavy. Bend your knees and put the palms of your hands flat to the ground. Move your body weight now to the left leg. Pick up the right leg and just find your balance. Feel your hands, feel your left foot. Notice the abdominals and the gluteal muscles connecting. Stretch the right leg all the way back and take a nice big step backwards. Lower the knee down. Release your foot out, bringing your hands up onto that front knee. And then pause here for a moment so that you find your balance. And then we're ready to just move a little bit forwards and backwards. And this is really about shifting our center of mass. Everything else is going to be a ripple effect. Your feet are rooting. Your spine is coming forwards and backwards. And come forwards, hold it there. Put the tips of your fingers down onto the mat on either side of your foot. And now let's do a little bit of a hamstring release. So just slight movement forwards and backwards. Focusing on that lengthening of the spine. The alignment of your shoulders and pelvis. And come forward and hold it. Move the tips of your fingers forward. Tuck the back toes and lift up the back knee. And you're going to bend the knee and do a little bit of a springing action. And again. One more. And now step that foot forward. Big toes in line. And then just dangle there for a moment. You can have your knees bent or straight. Shake your head no. Nod your head yes. And then bend the knees and roll up into standing. Abdominals connecting. Rooting into the heels of your feet. Coming all the way up for a moment. And roll the shoulders back and around just once. And then stay there and close your eyes. Once again, just bringing your focus to your breath. Allowing your eyes to soften. And as you root into your feet, allowing the joints of your body to stack and finding that lightness and energy lifting up through the crown of your head. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Blinking your eyes open. Taking your right arm, reach it out. Bringing that arm overhead and just doing a reach with the ribs to start off with. Come back to the center and letting that arm float down. And now the left arm reaches. I'm going to turn so you can see. And just the ribs lean to the side. Come back to the center, floating your arm down. And now the right arm reaches. Bring it over. Let your ribs do that side bend first. And then if it feels good for you, push your hips out to the side as well. Bring your hips back in, ribs, and floating the arm down. Left side, arm comes up. First, your ribs do the bend. And then if it feels good for your back, let your hips reach to the side. Come all the way back up and floating your arm down. Stay as you are. Take a breath in to grow tall. Exhale, look towards your feet and start rolling forward through your spine. Allowing your knees to soften, coming all the way down, just to lightly place your fingertips to the ground and pause here for a moment. Let's do one cat stretch. Lengthening the spine, keep your fingertips connected to the floor. Don't let yourself hang in space. And then fold over and put both hands flat to the ground. Soften the knees a little bit. Shift your body weight to the right foot. Pick up the left leg and just pause there for a moment as you balance. Extend that leg all the way back and then placing that foot all the way down. Now this time you're going to keep that back knee lifted. Whether or not you keep the leg straight or bent Depends on you and how your back feels. Balance yourself as you bring your hands up onto the front knee. So lifting up through the heart, eye line focused. Remember that the lower abdominals need to stay connected here. And then we're going to do a very slight shifting of body weight. We're not straightening that front leg. We're just testing out, shifting our center of mass. Let's just take 2 more. Rooting into the feet and allowing your head to be light. Bending the front knee. Hold it there. Reach down and put your fingertips to the ground. And now let's do a hamstring stretch. So press back just like we did before, except before we had our knee on the ground. At any point, if you want to put your knee down, just listen to what your body needs. Taking 2 more. One more time. Walk your fingertips forward. Bend the back knee and do a little springing action. And again, little spring. One more, little spring. And now step that foot all the way forward. Line up your toes and fold over. Just hang here for a moment. Surrender into the weight of your body pulling down, gravity. Bend your knees, put both hands flat. Shift your body weight to the left leg. Pick up the right leg. And taking a moment here to center yourself, to find balance. Stretch that right leg all the way back and take a big step back. Walking your hands up onto your knee. And guys, remember at any point you can either bend the knee or you could even put your knee down like we did before. Find the connection to core, focus your gaze. And let's just do a little bit of a shifting of body weight. Forwards and back. Two more. Connect your feet firmly to the ground. Allow your head to float upwards. Pause for a moment. Reach down, tips of fingers to the ground. And let's now stretch the hamstring. And release. And again, press back. And release. Two more times. One more time. Walk your hands a little bit forward. Bend the back knee and it's a little bounce. So we're just actually trying to see if we can momentarily balance on that front foot. Your hands are going to make sure that you don't fall forward. And now step that right foot forward, line up the toes with each other, and then just relax over. Taking a nice easy breath in, and then soften your knees. Take your time as you unravel, coming all the way up and standing tall. Pause for a moment, closing your eyes. Take a moment to listen to your heartbeat. Feel your breath. Bring your awareness to the soles of your feet as they connect you to the ground. Bring your awareness to the crown of your head as it lifts you up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Blinking your eyes open. And now we're going to take both arms all the way up. I'm going to turn so you can see me. Both arms come all the way up. And you're just going to interlock your hands together. And I like to release my index finger. So I've just got my index fingers pointing up. And then you can either have the arms straight or you can bend them depending on the tension of your neck. Bend your knees slightly. And let's start just doing a little bit of a tick-tock from side to side. Starting just with the ribs moving. And the trick here is to frame your head as evenly as possible with your arms. And then if the movement of the ribs is feeling good and you want to take it a little bit further, you could add the push of the hip. And you could add the push of the hip. So I've got my knees quite bent. If you wanted to increase the stretch even more, you could do this with straight legs. So this is opening up those side lines of the body. And let's take two more. Last one. Come back to the center. Release the bind of your hands and open your arms nice and wide. Nod your chin and let's go into our roll down. Coming all the way down. Fingertips to the ground. Lengthen your spine. Let's do that standing cat stretch. Extending through the crown. And then fold over, bend your knees and put the palms of your hands flat. Bring your body weight to your right foot. Pick up your left leg. Hold it in the air. Extend that leg all the way back and placing the foot all the way down. Now bring your left hand next to the right foot. Right hand onto your knee and start rotating your spine. So we're coming into our first twist of today. And then if it's available to you, you could reach that right arm all the way up. Looking towards your hand without straining your neck. Staying here for another 2 breaths in and out. Energy through your crown, energy through your heel. Open up across the heart. And then releasing your hands all the way down, come onto the tips of your fingers. And what I'd like you to do is to pivot your back foot so it is horizontal to the back end of your mat. And then walk right hand onto the knee, sweep the left hand in a big circle to help you come all the way up into standing so you can straighten both your legs. So you're going to have your arms extended. Chest is going to be facing. I'm going to turn so that you can see what I'm doing here. So your chest is facing towards the front. Don't force your hips anywhere that they don't want to go. Start tilting your hips back as you reach forward through the right hand and then bring yourself back up. So again, it's about shifting our center of mass and noticing the response of your body to that. Guys, if your knees don't like this, make sure that you've got the hamstrings and the quadriceps working to support them. Or you can narrow the stance, or you could even bend the knees a little bit. And coming up. So you can see that I'm keeping everything linear and straight. I'm not bending anything. My legs are straight, my arms are straight, and my spine is straight. And we're going to do one more time. And if you guys are tight like me, I really feel it in my inner thighs. And release, coming all the way back up. Now, take your front foot, pivot it, and then take the opposite leg and turn it out. So now you switch to the other side. You still have your shoulders square. Let your pelvis do what it needs to do. And again, you shift your hips back, reach through the front hand, and then come back to the center. Good. And again, reach. Feel how the abdominals are connecting the entire time just to help to stabilize. And connect to your breath. And you might notice as we do these repetitions that your range may improve. And if your arms are sore, can you feel the shoulders, how much they have to work? Just put your hands onto the shelf of your hip. That is no big deal because it's not about the arms, it's about the shifting of body weight. Come back to the center, and you are going to turn the back foot in, turn the front foot out again. So I'm going to turn backwards so I am where we all were before. I want you to bend the front knee, hand down, lift the top arm up and over so that you can pick up the back foot and now place your hands to the ground. Put your hands flat. Can you step the right leg all the way back? You're in your plank pose here that we've been practicing. Energy through your crown, connect your hands, connect your feet, energy through your heels. Let your knees come down towards the mat. Release your feet back. Round your spine, cat stretch. Let yourself sit back for a moment. And then if you choose, you can add that fascial release with the gentle pressing of the pelvis. Two more. One more. And coming forward, just until your shoulders are above your hands. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and return to your plank position. Lift your hips up. And stay here for a moment. Pedal the heels down if it feels good for the calf muscles. And now, pick up the left leg, not too high, and see if you can step that left foot in between the two hands. That's it. So coming up onto the tips of the fingers, pivot the back foot so it's horizontal. Put your left hand to your left knee. Support yourself as you sweep the right arm around and let the movement of the arm lift you upright. Make any adjustments you need to your position here. You're going to lean forward, just like we did before. Take your left hand down to the inside of your leg, not on the knee, on the inside. And then pick up your right arm and look up. Lengthen through the crown, connecting into your feet, energy through your hand. And if you're really supple, you know what you could do is slide your hand down towards your ankle, but as long as you don't round your spine. And then coming all the way back up, bringing that left foot in, and then bringing the right foot out so you've turned to the other side. Make any adjustments you need. Pay attention to your knees. Start reaching forward. And then put your right hand to the inside of your right knee. Left hand reaches up, lengthening through the spine. So this is an isometric hold. Nothing's moving, but you can feel all the joints engaging. And if you're super flexible, you might want to slide your hand down a bit. Don't force it. Connect to your breath. And then release, coming all the way up. Turning the right toes in. Turning the left toes out. Let's reverse it. Bend the knee. Placing left hand to the bent knee. Lift the right arm up and over so that you can pick up your back heel and put your hand flat. You're going to stay here for a moment, lengthen the spine, and let's come into a little bit of a twist. If it's available to you, pick up the left hand, reaching it up. Energy through your crown, through your heel. Open your heart. Release. Put both hands flat down and then step the left leg all the way back, holding your plank pose. Finding the strength through your body. Lower your knees. Release your feet. Round your spine. Sitting back into your cat stretch. And then you can add that little bit of trampolining if it feels good for you. Last one. Bringing your shoulders forward over your hands. Tuck your toes. And then lift the knees and lengthen the spine. Lift your hips all the way up. Pedal the heels down. And then pause for a moment. Let both knees come to the ground. Open your knees, big toes together. Sit back into a resting position and just put your arms and hands wherever feels good for you at the moment. And once again, just returning to your breath here. Giving yourself an opportunity to rest, but also to integrate and assimilate all the movements. And on your next breath, draw yourself up onto all fours, bringing wrists below shoulders, knees below hips, and then just extending the right leg back. Stay here for a moment, level out the pelvis, balance on the right hand, and walk the left fingertips forward. Stay here, level out the shoulders. And then on your breath, pick up the arm and leg, and release them back down. And again, lift them up. No dropping into the lower back, no collapsing into the shoulder. 2 more. 1 more. Release, and bringing it all the way in. Extending the left leg back. Pause. Walking the right fingertips forward. Find the level of your pelvis, the level of your shoulders, and on your breath, pick up the arm and leg. And release. Two more. One more. And release. And bringing the hand and the leg all the way in. Pause for a moment. Extending the right leg back. Walking the left fingertips forward. And this time, you're going to pick up the arm and the leg and stay here. Can you bend the right knee? You can stay here. Can you reach the left hand all the way around? See if you can hold on to your foot or your ankle. If not, please don't force it. Feel free to move the leg position if you need, but you're focusing on balance. And then if it's available to you, you can start coming into a gentle extension of the hip and spine. Stay for a moment. And release, and bringing the arm and the leg all the way in. So at any point, you can stop on that path wherever you feel it's a challenge. Left leg reaches back. Right hand walks forward. Pick up the arm and leg. Stay here. This might be it for you. You can bend the knee. That might be it for you. You can reach the arm around, and maybe you need to help yourself to wrap something around your ankle or foot, or maybe you even need to bring the knee down a little bit, which is absolutely fine as well. And then if it's available, start pressing your foot into your hand and starting to find extension through the hip, the spine, opening up through the chest and through the heart. Take another breath, and then gently and slowly release, and bringing your hands and knee underneath you, coming into a soft cat stretch. Very small. Very small. Taking 2 more. So this is just a little bit of a counter movement. And we're keeping it very small because we've just been in quite an extreme extension. Last one. Rounding. Now stay here. Let your hips come back just a little bit. Push up onto the tips of your fingers. So you're really forcing a connection into the abdominals here. And then on your next breath, lightly pull your fingertips towards your knees, rolling up through your spine, bringing your body upright, and just allowing the right arm to come forward and around. Let your chest move with you. Left arm forward and around. Just finding that spiraling of the spine. Two more. Long reach through fingertips. It's almost like you're doing the backstroke in the swimming pool. And now, just bring both hands all the way up. Interlock the fingers and place your hands behind your head at the occipital bone. There's a gentle, I'm talking like 2% pressure between your head and your hands, which is going to help keep the back of your body active. And then I want you to step your right foot forward and then step your right foot back. Step your left foot forward and step your left foot back. And now you're just going to continue alternating sides. And you can go slow, you can go fast, as long as you feel that you have control of the movement. And now I want you to think about as making it as quiet as possible. And this is again about moving from our centers. And do you notice that the more you do this, the easier it actually becomes? I actually shouldn't look at you, I'm almost losing my balance. Taking 2 more. 1 more. Hold it here. Just let your hips come back. Move your hips over to your right. I'm going to do a mirror image and turn to face you. So your hips are to your right, holding on to your left ankle. Let's do one big stretch over. Come to the center. Swing your legs around. Holding on to the right ankle. Big stretch over. And release. And then come into a seated position. Lifting up nice and tall, arms extended. On your breath, curling back, placing each vertebra to the ground. You're going to roll all the way back. And then let your arms reach back. Draw a big circle with your arms around. Lift your head and curl forward. and sit up nice and tall. And again, curl back. Reach. Big circle. Lift your head. And 2 more times. Draw your tail under. Arms overhead. Last one. Curl back. So we're transitioning from a seated to a lying supine position. And this time, stay on your back and just let your arms settle beside you. So bring your feet a little closer to your pelvis. Letting your arms settle. And let's just do a few pelvic curls here. So on your breath, little tilt of the hips. Rolling up into your shoulder bridge. Stay for a moment. And then exhale and release down. And we're going to do 2 more. Tilting hips. Pause for a moment. And ripple down. On this last one, we're going to stay up. So make sure that your lower back feels good. You're going to balance on your right leg and just see if you can pick up the left knee and hold it in the air. Cross the left ankle over the right knee and the knee opens out to the side. And then roll down through your spine with that left ankle crossed over. Use your arms to anchor. And on your breath, lift up that right leg so you're pulling yourself into a gluteal stretch. Take your hands around the back of that right thigh. And then settle into a place where you feel maybe a 6 or a 7 out of 10 for intensity on that left hip. Try to keep your head and shoulders as easy as possible. Staying for just a few more moments. And then on your next breath, releasing your leg, keeping the left ankle crossed, put your hands beside you, tilt your pelvis, rolling up into your bridge position again. Maybe you need to look, maybe you need to feel if your pelvis is level, and then uncross that left leg and place the left foot down. Balance yourself, picking up the right leg, turn the knee out, crossing the ankle over, and then you get to ripple down through your spine and release. And then from here, you pick up the left leg and releasing it down. We're going to take 2 more. Pick up. And one more time. Pick up that leg, stay here for a moment, and then wrap your hands around the back of your thigh. So now you've got to stretch onto that right hip, that right gluteal. Settle your head and shoulders down. Double check that you're actually able to breathe. And then release, keep your ankle crossed over, put your hands flat, roll your hips up, double check that you're balanced, and then unfold that right leg, placing your foot down, and then melt through your spine, and release. Extend your legs out long. You're going to have your legs just slightly separated with your ankles flexed. Put your hands onto the shelf of your pelvis and then keeping your legs straight, start to slide the right foot away from you and feel how the left pelvis hitches up. And then slide the left foot away from you and feel the right pelvis hitch up. So it doesn't have to be a massive movement. We're simply doing lateral flexion of the spine. Make sure that you're not taking strain in your lower back. So you might need to do a little bit of a tuck of the pelvis. You might even need to bend the knees a little bit, depending if you're really tight at the front here. And we're just going to take one more. Come back to the center and then close your legs together. So you line up your ankle bones, hands reaching all the way up. We're going to do one roll up to sitting. Lift your head, check out where you're going, and then breathe out. Use your hands if you need some help. And then you either put your hands on your knees, on your shins, on your ankles, and you have an opportunity to just relax all the way over for a moment. Taking a nice easy breath in, and then exhale, unravel, and lifting all the way up and tall. I want you to stay seated. Cross your left ankle over the right and put your right hand behind you with the fingers pointing to the side. Bringing the left hand up. We're just going to do a little bit of a roll onto the right hip. So it's going to ask you for a little bit of balance around your midsection. And then we're going to roll back again. And you can feel that this elbow has to bend to accommodate the movement. Use your top hand as much as you need to. If you need to push on the floor or balance, or if you need to turn the hand, then do so. If you need to bend the elbow a bit more, feel free. So this is a little movement called Cleopatra. And we're going to do just one more time. Roll over. And come back to the center. And then switch hands, switch legs. So now you can have your left hand slightly behind you, fingers pointing away, arm up, or put your hand on the floor if you need. Roll over onto the left side. Oh, I'm about to roll into the wall there. Bending the left elbow as much as you need. And come back. So this is a preparation move for coming into a sideline series. And we're going to do just one more time. Come back to the center and release. Bend your knees, come all the way to the front. Bringing your hands to the front of your shins, tucking yourself into a little ball shape. And then you can stay here and balance, or if you would like to roll, you're just going to go onto your shoulders. Make sure that you don't hit your neck or head to the floor. We're going to inhale back and exhale up. 3 more. Lovely little massage of the spine. 2 more. And one more time. Balance and hold, and placing your feet down. So from here, just turn onto all fours. Spreading fingers out. Tucking toes under. We're going to go into a downward facing dog. So bring your knees up. Shift your body weight back. Lengthen up through the pelvis and hips. Pedal the heels down, finding a little bit of a release. And then pause for a moment. Soften your knees and start to walk your feet forward. Walk your hands back. And then stay here for a moment and just let your body dangle. Let yourself stretch. You can have knees bent or straight. Give your head a little shake. No, 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 no. Nod your head. Yes, 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 yes. And then soften your knees and start to roll yourself up. Coming up into standing. Lifting up tall, and then take a moment to just roll your shoulders back and around a few times. And then pause. Close your eyes for a moment. Bringing awareness to your breath. Finding the connections of your feet to the ground. Allowing your joints to stack gently. Finding the lift and the lightness through the crown of your head. Take a moment to notice each inhale and each exhale as it moves through your body. Taking one more deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh. Blink your eyes open. And just one more time, roll your shoulders back and around. Very nicely done, guys. That was quite a challenging class. See if you guys have any questions, any comments. How's everybody feeling? Are you still in one piece? So definitely all of those transitions from standing back down to the floor onto quadruped where you're kneeling on hands and knees, transitioning from seated to supine. I mean, there's a lot of work involved in it, and you know, we just kind of assume we can do it quite easily, but you actually have to focus on it, and you have to kind of like think about shifting your center of mass and moving your body weight, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Was everybody okay with knees? Because I know a few people have knee issues. Knees felt okay. Lower backs felt okay?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And shoulders and neck, everything all right? We didn't do too much weight bearing today. You know, I know obviously we did the front support basic, the push-up position, but we didn't do too much beyond that. So neck and shoulders felt all right?
Shoulders are a bit dodgy.
Yes, fine.
Fabulous. Fantastic, guys. All righty. So listen, that was day